This is a message to all my supporters of this podcast. I'm introducing a new supporters program. You can contribute a small amount as a one-off payment to show your love for this podcast. Thank you in advance for all your contributions. I just wanted to let you know before we start the podcast that I am doing an online podcast course, how to be able to create, get your guests, scale it and monetize it. So please do go to abmpodcastcourse.co.uk and go into the contact us bit. I'm looking for new people to be able to be a podcast creator and really to be able to develop their skills and knowledge into a podcast. So as I said, go to abmpodcastcourse.co.uk and sign up. Thanks. Hi, this is Mark Haver from the Absolute Business Mindset podcast and YouTube channel. So today we're going to talk about active listening. So I think everyone, I'm sure I read somewhere that when in a meeting or something like that, that people only pick up about 20% of what people say. Now that's partly down to presentation skills not being very good, and sometimes data heavy PowerPoint slides, which are the curse of my life. But I think on the flip side, it's not always the presenter's fault. Sometimes it's the participants' fault as well. So what I want you to do is I want you to practice active listening. So because when you listen to things, you're only picking up a small percentage of what people are saying. What I want you to do is at the next meeting, or even when you're having a chat with someone over coffee, practice your skills of being able to listen, but equally to hear what they are saying. So this is one of my skills that I've worked hard on as an interviewer for my podcast. It's it's easy just to have a structured 10 questions, ask those questions, and then finish the podcast. But what I like doing is being able to riff. So being able to go on tangents and go into conversations where they're not planned, but I've listened and heard what they said and found it interesting, or thought you guys would find it interesting for me to be able to explore that. So it is a skill, and sometimes it might be helpful to write notes and then reflect upon them. You will be able to develop the skill soon enough where you're actually just doing it naturally. But you need to think about people's emotions. What are they telling you? What are they not telling you? Go deeper. What's their motivation for telling you this? And really delve into, while you're listening to them, what are they really wanting you to hear? Because it's so easy these days with the fast-paced world, with bish bash bosh, let's get a deal done and let's move on to the next one. Actually, your client needs to be heard. They need their pain points listened to. They need you to respond. And the best people, the best client-facing people that I've experienced in my corporate career are the people that actually hear and listen what the client actually needs. And sometimes the client isn't completely clear on what they actually need, and it's not telling them what their problem is. It's being able to guide them in a coaching way, being able to guide them to understand that what they actually need is X, where they thought it was Y, but actually they need is X. So guys, work hard on this. I want you to practice. Initially, you're in a meeting and you've got your boss telling you something. Write some notes. Write some things about what's motivating them. What's their pain point? Just build your knowledge and your understanding of people a little bit deeper, and it will so improve your relationships. So after that meeting, if you don't feel comfortable in the actual meeting, speak to your boss after and say, you said about this, Did you mean about this? Was that important to you? Why were you telling us? Why is a great question. Why were you telling us this? So I want you all to try doing that. Do it with your friends in the pub, in the coffee shop. Do it somewhere where you can actually just practice hearing people's emotions, something deeper than purely what they're saying. People use language in different ways. People use body language in different ways. And it's important for you to be perceptive and listen and hear what they're trying to say. All right, guys, I want you to practice that. I want you to get out there and practice and get really good at this, because not enough people do this. And I think it will give you a business advantage. Okay, guys, thank you very much for your time. Thank you again for all the downloads, all the subscriptions, all the listens. I really appreciate you being part of my journey. Thanks a lot, guys. Speak to you soon.
News, laws, and regulations are changing by the day. We get it. And at ADP, we're here to help guide you with up-to-the-minute compliance expertise, so you can pay your people accurately and on time, regardless of what each new day may bring. Learn more at adp.com.